Rain hammered the roof of Miller's Diner as the clock neared closing time, and Ashley Morrison wiped the counter with the last strength she had. Her stomach was empty, her wallet held exactly $10, and she prayed the week wouldn't break her. Then the door swung open. A man stepped inside. Soaked suit, trembling hands, eyes carrying a kind of loss she recognized too well. He sat at the counter without a word. "Rough night?" she asked gently. He hesitated, voice barely holding together. "I don't have enough for a meal. Does coffee, please?" Something in Ashley's chest pulled tight. Not pity but truth. She knew what desperation looked like. And the choice she made next would set off a chain of events no one in that diner could have predicted. What happens next? If this moment grabs you, hit like and subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales for more stories that inspire and uplift. The diner felt smaller the moment Ashley slid the steaming plate in front of him. The rain outside softened to a steady hiss, but inside something sharper filled the air, an unease she couldn't name. The man wrapped his hands around the mug as if trying to stay anchored, and for a long moment he didn't speak. His silence wasn't rude. It was heavy, the kind that carried stories too painful to put into words. Ashley kept wiping the counter because doing something with her hands made it easier not to stare. But every few seconds she glanced up just to check if he was okay. He ate slowly, carefully, like someone who hadn't tasted real food in days. Then the bell above the door rang again. This time the energy changed immediately. A man in a sharp charcoal coat stepped inside, shaking raindrops from glossy hair slicked back too neatly for the weather. His presence cut through the room like cold air. Ashley straightened, instinctively preparing her customer service smile, but the man didn't look at her. His eyes locked onto the soaked man at the counter. "There you are," the newcomer said, voice clipped. "Alexander, do you have any idea what kind of mess you've caused?" Ashley froze. The soaked man, Alexander, didn't lift his head. His jaw tightened once before he whispered, "Not here, Ethan." Ethan's lips curled. "Why not? You disappeared. You walked out in the middle of a vote that cost us the entire company. Do you know what the board is saying about you? About us? About me?" Ashley set the cloth down slowly. The tension between these two men throbbed like a wire pulled too tight. Alexander finally met Ethan's eyes. "I told you I needed time." "You don't get time," Ethan snapped. "Not after what you did. Stone Enterprises is gone because you couldn't keep yourself together for one night. And now you're sitting here pretending everything's fine." Alexander's shoulders sagged as if the accusation added weight to his still wet clothes. Ashley's pulse quickened. She didn't understand all the details, but she understood humiliation when she saw it. "Is there a problem?" she asked softly, stepping closer, not confrontational, just present. Ethan gave her a short, dismissive look. "This is business. Stay out of it." Ashley's spine stiffened. "Sir, this is my workplace. If you're disturbing a customer, I need to know." Ethan exhaled sharply, unimpressed. "Customer? He can't even afford." Alexander stood abruptly. "That's enough." Ashley caught the tremor in his hand. A mix of anger, shame, and something deeper, hurt. Ethan leaned in, voice low but unmistakably venomous. "You ruined everything. And you're about to ruin a lot more." Ashley's instinct clicked. This wasn't just a business disagreement. This was someone kicking a man already on the ground. "Sir," she said firmly, "I'm going to have to ask you to either order something or step outside." Ethan looked at her like she was an inconvenience. "Do you know who I am?" "I know you're raising your voice at a customer," Ashley replied, refusing to blink. "That's enough." Alexander closed his eyes, pained. "Ethan, please. Go." But Ethan stayed right where he was, until Tom, the manager, stepped out from the kitchen wiping his hands. "What's happening here?" "Mask." Ashley spoke before Ethan could. "This gentleman is causing trouble." Ethan scoffed. "Trouble? I'm trying to salvage a multimillion-dollar company while your employee plays hero." Tom lifted a hand. You need to leave. The shift in Ethan's face was instant. Entitled disbelief. You have no authority to. I'm the manager, Tom said plainly. I have every authority. Out. For a second, Ashley thought Ethan might push back harder, but something in Tom's stance must have told him it wasn't worth it. He straightened his coat and hissed at Alexander. You're finished. Then he stormed out into the rain, the bell chiming behind him with a sharp metallic ring. Silence returned, but it wasn't peaceful. Ashley watched Alexander run a hand through his wet hair, eyes unfocused again, like Ethan's words had reopened a wound. I'm sorry, Ashley said gently. You didn't deserve that. Alexander laughed once, but it wasn't amusement. It was disbelief. Deserve it or not, he's right. I lost everything. Ashley didn't push. She dried another section of the counter before speaking softly. Maybe you didn't lose everything. Maybe something's left. He looked at her then, really looked. And for the first time, she saw more than exhaustion. She saw someone standing at the edge of a life that had just collapsed. You don't even know me, he said quietly. But I know what it's like when the world doesn't slow down long enough for you to breathe, she replied. Alexander's expression softened. He nodded once. Fragile truce. Minutes passed. He finished eating slowly, drinking every drop of the coffee she kept refilling. The diner stayed quiet except for the hum of the old refrigerator and the distant thunder outside. Something in the air felt heavier now, yet strangely hopeful. Just as Ashley turned to refill napkin holders, Alexander's phone buzzed with urgency. He hesitated before answering. A clipped, angry voice exploded through the speaker. You think you can just disappear? Reporters are outside the office. Investors are demanding answers. You need to get here now. Alexander flinched, and the phone slipped in his hand. Ashley stepped closer instinctively. Give him a minute, she said, unaware the voice on the line could hear her. Who was that? The voice barked. Is that where you are? A diner. Unbelievable. Alexander swallowed tightly. I'll be there soon. You'd better be, the voice snapped before hanging up. Ashley saw the way his shoulders drew inward again, like he was bracing for another storm. You can stay here a little longer, she offered quietly. The rain's still strong. He nodded, but she sensed he wasn't staying because of the rain. He stayed because it was the first place all day where somebody hadn't demanded something from him. Thank you, he said softly, for treating me like a person. You are one, she answered with a small smile. That should be enough. A shadow crossed his face. Not in the circles I'm from. Ashley didn't know what to say to that, so she didn't say anything. She just stood with him in the quiet. Then slowly, Alexander reached into his pocket and pulled out a card. Creased, damp, but still legible. This used to mean something, he said. Now I'm not sure. Ashley took it. Maybe it will again. Alexander breathed in shakily and stood. I should go. She nodded. Take care, Alexander. He paused at the door. I mean it. I won't forget what you did tonight. Ashley held the card in her apron pocket long after he left, feeling the weight of something she couldn't name yet. Maybe it was hope. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was both. But she had no way of knowing the storm wasn't over. It was only moving. The fallout came faster than anyone expected. The next morning, Ashley arrived early to open the diner, only to find two detectives speaking quietly with Tom. When they turned to her, she felt a ripple of confusion, until one of them held up a folder filled with printed messages. Miss Morrison, these were sent from Ethan Gray's phone, the officer said. He hired someone to follow you last night. That's a felony. Ashley's breath caught. But before fear could settle, Alexander stepped through the door, calm and steady, a confidence she hadn't seen in him before. I pressed charges, he told her gently. And the board reviewed Ethan's actions. He's been removed permanently. Everything he tried to do to hurt you turned back on him. For a moment, Ashley didn't speak. Not because she was afraid, but because she finally understood something. She hadn't survived this because someone powerful saved her. She survived because she chose compassion on a night when she had almost nothing left to give. And that choice had reshaped everything around her. As Alexander reached for her hand, the first rays of sunlight broke through the clouds, casting warm light across the diner counter, the same one where their lives intersected. Ashley smiled, feeling something steady rise inside her. Not luck, not destiny, but truth. When you choose kindness, the world has a way of answering back. If this story touched you, please like, share, and help Canada's Heartfelt Tales grow by subscribing to the channel. Let's keep these stories alive.